In this section, I want to show you how you can assemble different parts of computer case that we created in previous sections. And for this, I want to change one of the parts that I created previously. That's the computer case door. So I select it. And I want to change this elongated holes into circle. And you remember that I selected these for the screws. But here, because I want to have an axis, and you know that elongated holes do not have an axis, I want to have an axis for them. I need to, create different type of openings here, and that's going to be a circular opening. So I go to computer case door and open this. You can see that there are two cutouts here. I remove them, and by removing them, you can see that the sketch is going to be removed as well. So I select cutout 2. I remove it as well, so I click on OK, and this sketch is not removed, so I select double click on this sketch. You can see that they are here. I want to select all of them and remove them. You can see that everything is removed like this. Let's zoom in and draw a circle instead of that elongated hole, and this circle should be 5 millimeters in diameter. That means 2.5 millimeters of radius. And I should have this constraint, the center of this circle. And I need to select the center, and that's going to be a little hard here. That's it. And this horizontal vector are about 150 millimeters away from each other. So this is selected right there. And I want to select the center and select this horizontal vector now. And I want to make sure that they are 5 millimeters away from each other. So I type in 5. You can see the circle is in its correct place. So I exit my workbench. This is sketch 2 right now. I click on this and copy it and paste it on computer case door. So I will have another sketch that is sketch 8. And I double click on this sketch. This time I double click on this constraint and click on more and click on swap location. That's it. So I exit my workbench. I have two sketches. They are very similar to each other. They are both circles, and I need to use the cutout tool to have an opening here. So I go to cutting, select the cutout tool, and up to last is selected here. Clicking on OK. This is done. Now I select this sketch, go and select the cutout tool again, and that's it. Up to last is selected, and I have this. So I press Ctrl S to save it and close this. Now I need to go to Assembly Design Environment. I can do this in two ways. I can go to File menu and select New Product, or I can go to Start menu and select the Mechanical Design Assembly Design Environment. I prefer the second way. So I open this. You can see there is a product here. I can rename it to Computer Case. And by typing Computer Case and hitting OK, it changes. Now I need to insert the parts one by one. I go to Insert menu, and I click on existing component because I have them, and I click on computer case because this is the product that I need to add the components to that. So I go and select different parts. The first part I want to insert is the computer case backplate, so I click on that, and that's inserted here. Now I can move it any direction I want. I can go to edit menu, go to move, select the manipulate, and select different direction. For example, Z direction, I can grab my object and move it up or down. Select X component and move my object in front or back. Or I can rotate it. I can click on, for example, Y axis and grab my object, and you can see that it can rotate along Y axis. Or I can have my own axis. If I go and click on this, drag around any axis, you can see that I have a lot of axes here, and I can select one of them. For example, I want to select this axis. You can see that this is selected. Now I can grab my object and rotate it. But I don't want to move this. I cancel this out. I actually want to fix this. So I go to Insert menu and select Fix and click on this object. You can see this anchor here. This tells me that any object that you add here should be manipulated according to this object. This is the fixed part of your product. So this is very nice to select one piece of fixed item so that you can assemble easier. Now I need to add the second part, and that's going to be the computer case door. So I go to Insert, Existing Component, click on Computer Case, and select the computer case door. And this is the computer case side plate actually here. And now you can see that the name was part 1 and I have another part 1 here, so there's a name conflict here. I click on rename and select name of part 2 and click on OK. Now the conflict is gone. I click on OK. Select to manipulate this, so I go to move manipulate. Select the Z-axis, move it up. Select the Y-axis, move it to right. And again, a little upper is much better because I want to have these two holes near each other. So I click on OK. Let's zoom in. I want to zoom in a lot because I will show you this is necessary to find the axis of these holes. And that's gonna be hard time finding them. So I zoomed a lot. I know that this hole is going to be along this hole. So I go and select the coincidence constraint from Insert menu. And this is very nice tool because you can select axis, you can select lines, you can select faces and coincide them together. So I want to select the axis of this one, and this is going to be a little hard time as I told you because it is hard to find the axis. If it is hard, I can zoom in more, and now by going there at some point you can see that I can grab the axis, and it is hard of course as I told you. Now this is the axis. I click on this axis. Now I go to the second hole and I know that this has an axis too. So I click on this axis. Now you can see that both axes are going to be in coincidence with each other. So I go to Edit menu and click on Update. Now I zoom out. And I can see these two holes are in coincidence with each other. Let's rotate this. And this time I want to make sure that, let's zoom in. I can do one thing. I go to Insert menu and select Contact because I want to have contact between two faces. The face one is the inside of this computer case door. I click on this. Now I rotate it and I want to make sure that this is in contact with this. So I click on it. Now I have this constraint. I can go to Edit menu and click on Update. Now you can see that they are touching each other. And the last one, I need another coincidence here. And for this, again, I need to rotate. And you remember that we have a thickness of 1 millimeter. So you should, make sure that this contact is there. I can do something else. I can select the axis of this one and the other one. Or I can select the coincidence and select this other edge and rotate it and select this line just before the curve and add a coincidence here. And this would be nice, but I don't want to have this type of coincidence. Actually, I want to have another coincidence between the holes, and that's nicer, I guess. So again, I need to zoom in a lot. So I zoom in, select the insert coincidence and grab the axis of this hole. You can see that this time it is easier to find the axis because I have rotated it. I select this axis. Now I zoom out and find the other hole that I want to find the axis. This is the other hole. Zoom in and go and find the axis of this. Now it is a little hard to find it. Let's zoom in again. Now I can find the axis like this. You can see the axis. I can grab it at one point, and it's a little hard time. I need to rotate it again. And that's hard to find it. And now that's it. Okay, I have the two axes again. Now I can go to edit menu and select the update. Now you can see that these objects are nicely fitted together. So I zoom out. Okay. This is very nice. This is very nice. Okay, you can do the same and insert another computer side plate. Let's do this. I can go to insert menu and click on existing component and clicking on computer case opens this. And again, I can import the same object, the computer case side plate. And you can see again, there is an incident report. I click on this. And this time I will rename this to part 3. So I go to properties and select part 3 for the name. Now the conflict is gone. I can do as I did. And for this, let's zoom in again. And by zooming in, I make sure that I select the coincidence constraint and select this axis of this one. And again, it is going to be a little hard time. Let's rotate. And let's zoom in again. And at some point I should grab the axis of this. And actually I didn't want to do this, but I prefer to do this again. Now this is not possible from this side, and at some point I should grab the, no, that's it. That's it. So zoom out. Now I want to have this with this. The axis of this hole. So I go here and try to grab the axis of this. Now if it is not possible, again I need to zoom in. And now that's it. Now I have a coincidence. I go to update. Okay, let's zoom out and see what happened. I need to find the axis of this hole. Zoom in again. And let's go to insert and select coincidence and select the axis of this hole. This time it was easier. Zoom out, find the other hole, and zoom in and find the axis. And that's here. If it is hard, again, I should zoom in a lot. And that's the axis. I found it. I update this constraint again. Now I need a contact. So I need to make sure that, let's zoom in again. Make sure that I select the contact. This face is in contact with this face. So I update it again. And now that's it. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, let's rotate it. I need to add another component, and I want to do this in later section, next section.